Yes, people, what is going down? Welcome back to another one. Welcome back to another one. I've got a little bit of a exciting. I've got a bit of an exciting one today. Got a little bit of a serious one at the same time. So you might have seen that I streamed yesterday. So I streamed yesterday, and in all fairness, I just streamed really for the sake of streaming, and then kind of thought, why did I start doing this? Um, but however, in that stream, and specifically if you've been following me on Instagram, I've been adding to my Instagram stories, and I've been saying that there was potentially some good news coming, some potential good news. And obviously, I didn't want to say anything until I was kind of certain that like everything was going to work and everything was going to pay off, and everything was going to happen, kind of thing. So I said in the Instagram stories, and I think I might have said on the stream yesterday, that I had a meeting this afternoon, and if the meeting went well, there would be some good news to come from the meeting. So I had the meeting, and like I wanted, some good news has come from the meeting. And this kind of marks the next chapter in my music journey, and it also marks the next chapter in my life. Probably more importantly, in my life, but there is kind of like something quite cool music related to come out of it, which is kind of why I am making like a sort of like announcement kind of thing, sort of online and on the socials and things. Normally, when it comes to like my sort of private life outside of music, I don't normally really post about it because it's just not the type of person I am. But because this one will be able to some shape or form sort of include the music side of things as well, it's going to be really, really cool. So, what meeting did I have, and what was the meeting about? So, a couple of weeks ago, I got in touch with a friend who lives with a social housing company called Riverside, and they cater for like flats and houses, and they're kind of like supported living, and essentially I have a friend who lives in one, and I contacted her just on the off chance, was there anything going, kind of thing. So obviously, I currently at the moment living in like a shared place, and kind of like the idea is that you kind of find somewhere better to move on, if that makes sense. And in all fairness, yeah, what is this place really? No offences. Um, so I just spoke to her on the off chance and said, look, do you know anybody that I could maybe speak to? Or, do you know potentially if there's like anything going or some kind of thing? So I got a response back, and look, I'll have a word with my social worker, kind of thing. Next minute, I've got a phone number for the social worker, which I thought, all right, this is quite cool and dandy. Might be able to shed a little bit of light to me on this situation. So I ring him up and I speak to him, and the next minute, he wants to see me the next day and talk about me filling a form in. So I go and see him the following day, pick up this form, and cut a long story short, there was a woman in the flats at the moment who had sadly suffered a stroke, and cutting the story short, they was thinking that she might be moving out because she might not be able to manage the stairs. But they obviously wasn't certain, and they couldn't say for sure. But it was kind of looking beyond that way. So I filled a form out anyway, and they said, look, whatever happens with this woman, you fill a form out, you are on the list for a Riverside, essentially. The social worker guy, he had a couple of weeks off. He was off, so I kind of filled the form in, and nothing happened for a couple of weeks. And then I got a little kind of sort of a G up from my friend and said, oh, by the way, this, the woman has moved out. You might hear something, kind of thing. So I thought, oh yeah, cool. This would be quite cool. Sure enough, Monday came, and I had an email, and it was just basically, look, the place has become available. Would you be interested? That kind of thing. So I was like, yeah, of course, I'd love to be interested. So he was like, right, well, we've just got to hear back from the council regarding your form, and then we'll have a meeting with you. And stuff like that, and just to fill some more paperwork in. So I thought, all right, cool. So I left it at that. Said, all right, yeah, cool. Thank you so much. Next day, check my emails. Have an email from him. Could I meet him on Wednesday to go over some paperwork and view the flat? And I thought, well, this is escalating rather quickly. And not that it's a bad thing, but this is like going quicker than I expected it was going to be, because I thought maybe that it'd take like a little bit of time to sort of hear back from the council regarding the form, and then I wasn't sure like what stage of moving out the woman was in, and so I just sort of roughly expected be a couple of weeks here, kind of thing. So anyway, so the big meeting that I've been sort of going on about and hinting was today, and it was to fill some more paperwork in, and it was to have a little look around the flat. So you're probably thinking, where does this fit in music wise? How does this fit in music related? So you all know me by now. I'm not a big TV person. So there's times where I will sit there and I'll just fancy watching a bit of TV, or probably more likely I'll just go on YouTube and watch something. But 9 times out of 10, I'll be having a DJ mix, or I'll be like getting onto some music production, or I'll be doing like a live stream, or I'll be doing something sort of music productive, if that sort of makes sense. So the way the music fits in to this whole kind of like scenario is the living room of the new place, the living room of the new place. I ideally want to turn it into kind of like a music studio. So kind of when I sort of was first sort of like coming to move here, that was kind of the sort of like aspirations of what I wanted to do, and everything sort of coming here just was not sort of what I expected. So due to bad reasons, I left the previous place, and I got told a lot different to what the actual end result was. So I figured originally I was going to get my own like little place, and I was gonna have my full own little place, and I think that was the original plan. And then the place I was gonna go into, the actual landlord of the building pulled out, and he just basically said, I can get more money not to be racist, but he said he could get more money by putting a foreigner into one of the, into a flat instead. So that kind of went out the window, and then this kind of came as kind of like a last resort. So my original plan was always to kind of just utilize kind of like the living room into kind of like a music sort of studio, if that makes sense. So that is exactly what I'm going to do at the new place. Is we're going to somehow turn the front room into a little bit of a music studio. So we'll put some soundproofing up, we'll put the we'll put flyers and things on the wall. We'll decorate it out a bit, and we'll make it look nice, and we'll make it look like the nice music space, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. And the good thing about it is I'm allowed to have people round, so I can have like guests in. I can have like friends and stuff. Obviously I can't. Let's have a full-on house party, and not that I'd want to anyway. I've given up, drinking, but I don't know. Just say for example, me and somebody, we're working on a track together. At the moment, if that was the case, I'd say, look, book into the youth music studio, which is only once a week, or we'll work, online. You do something and then send it over to me, and then I'll continue. Whereas, kind of like where I'm gonna go to is gonna kind of be like, well, listen, look, come round to mine, and we'll get sat in the studio room, and we'll get on a track, and do you want a drink, and we can just have a little bit more of a, rather than just working online, and it'll just make me feel a little bit kind of more better in myself, because I'm a very, like, I like being around my friends, and I like, linking with my friends and stuff. And one thing I hate is not being able to say, like, look, why don't you come in and have a drink, or why don't you come in and we'll work on some music, or I'll show you this track I've been working on. Because I'm not allowed to do that where I obviously currently am. So that was kind of where the music side of things fit in, and that was kind of why I was, like, look, I can't tell you yet, because obviously I didn't want to say like, oh, this is gonna happen, and then obviously I didn't end up, like getting the flat or something. But cutting a long story short, I am going to be getting the space, and it's going to be a lot better for me. It's right in the, more or less in the city centre. So I'm literally like, I think on Google Maps it said I was about 19 minutes away from work, so I can probably walk that in about 13, 14, because I'm quite a fast walker. Depending, like, if I call in like a shop and buy a drink or something on the way, which I normally currently do, so I might do that at some point. But essentially, just cutting the story short, I'll be a lot closer, and then I'll just be a lot more central to everything. So if I'm going to visit the grandparents, I'm, a matter of maybe 5-10 minutes away from the train station. Going to the youth music studio, I'm literally just round the corner. So again, about about a 5-10 minute walk, if that. And then going to some of the Gig Buddies stuff. Again, I'm literally central to all of that. And leave your supper in the microwave. So I'm just gonna be, in a lot better location as well, and it's just gonna hopefully be like a lot better for myself. So yeah, but having the music studio room is definitely gonna be like a big thing for me, because it'll be really cool just to have that space where that it'll kind of be like the fun room. So like the PlayStation and stuff will probably go in there as well, and then kind of like the bedroom will kind of be just like my chill out room, where I might just chill in there and watch YouTube on my phone, or just relax, and rest and stuff. Like if I've been like busy at gigs and stuff, and I'm just having a chill out Sunday, and I'm not really moving from the bed kind of thing, that'll be like a really cool thing. And then of course the kitchen and stuff, just be able to start really you know, having that time to myself, you know, to cook recipes, and because I always used to like cooking. And I think, you know, I've just really kind of got out of that kind of zone at the moment. Like, it's been so much easier for me. I've got into this habit of, like, because I do a lot of like long hours at work, and sometimes it's just easier to walk into a takeaway because, you know, when it gets to like 8, 9 o'clock at night and you're coming in from like a work meeting, or you're coming in from like a work session that you've been, you know, sort of like coaching, you know, you don't want to always come in and start cooking something, you know. Just in case you're wondering, I'm working on my mix. I'm just getting the tunes together. I've also done a new alias. Oh, buzzing for you, man. Absolutely buzzing for you. Really happy for you that the mix is going to go well. So, but yeah, going back to it, it's just going to be like a really cool thing as well. And another thing that I've been thinking about with this whole like studio room, I can use it for work as well, because sometimes like with work I do these like youth music podcasts, and sometimes like because I'm working in the office during the day, sometimes like some of the guests, they're at work and stuff, and they're only available like in the evenings. And like when it comes to like the evenings at the moment, like I can't really do anything, because, you know, I can't just like you know, come and sort of like do a podcast with them here, and then also just like, you know, sort of having this room, it'll be like my own little kind of like work room as well, where I can just get a podcast going in there, and I can just get so many cool things sort of underway, and get some things obviously going. So I'll keep you updated on the process. So at the moment, obviously, as you can see, I'm still at the original place. Nothing is packed, because I obviously haven't. I've only just literally found out, and you know, although I was about 98% certain that I was going to get it, it was just kind of like, you know, you don't want to kind of jump the gun. So sort of from next week, I will be starting to slowly put a few things away, probably things that I don't need. So it'll be more things like for example the vinyl. So like the vinyl turntables, um I don't use them at the moment because I need a needle for one of the turntables. So I'll just pack the turntables away, as I won't be using them. The CDs and things like that, they can, you know, they can get packed away because, you know, I don't really have a CD player at the moment, that kind of thing. But things like the RX and things like the computer that I'll be more than likely still going on or having to do various things on, that will obviously be like one of the you know, more final things that will get packed down. And then of course things like clothes that I'm still gonna wear and things that I need for work and stuff. So you know, it's all gonna be fun. It's all gonna be a shed load of fun. I can't wait for it. It's like really proper buzzed me. It's made me excited. So yeah, pretty cool. You need to name a name for your studio. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'll really call it. It's just gonna be kind of like just the studio room at the moment. Like, you know, I mean, it's not gonna. When I say studio, like, don't get me wrong, I want it to look as nice as possible, and you know, and as nice as ever. But what, you know, what you have got to understand as well is it is still a living room at the end of the day. So even though I want to make it look all nice, and we'll have the decks in there, and we'll have the production PC in there, I'm still going to be limited in some ways. Like, you know, walking into the youth music studio that I run at work, it's not going to look anything like that. You know, that place is a proper fully fledged soundproofed studio room. So, you know, although I'm going to try and like put some soundproofing and stuff up, you know, at the end of the day, it's going to probably, it'll be used as like the studio room, but it'll be more like a music room, if that makes sense. But it'll be good. So, Um, I'm getting an old bedroom of mine. It's good. It'll be good. If you can make it look nice, it'll work really well. Like I say, I wanted to do that sort of like with this, but it just never really ended up happening. And I think one thing, because it's a bedroom, like you can never shy away from it being a bedroom because you've got a massive bed there. Whereas the living room, like I say, I don't watch a whole lot of TV, so sitting down on a big, on a big three-seater settee and watching telly is not really my thing, you know. So for me personally, just having that kind of like, um, just being able to come in there and sit at the computer, for example, or coming in there and being able to jump behind the decks and have a mix kind of thing is going to be more my style. So although I probably will still put a sofa in there, I'll try and limit the size of it, and it'll just be more about look. It's more a studio room, and then just essentially at the end of the day, just see where we go. I mean, at the moment, I can't really vision it because I've not really properly been in. Like I had a brief look at the flat, but there was some workmen in there, so I can't really say too much yet about like where I'm gonna put things and what I'm gonna do. But like I've got general ideas in my mind, like of kind of what I want. It's just kind of look, let's make that happen, kind of thing. But what I do want to say is I just want to big up like I've got so many nice people that have like been just so helpful. People that have been like, look, if you need a hand with anything, like even somebody from work said, look, I've got a big car if you need a hand with anything, and I just kind of thought, you know what, like that is just so nice. Like only just over a year ago, I met this guy through work, and now he's just become like somebody who I feel like I could just turn to and talk to, and it's just so nice. And like I was proper buzzed to tell him the news, and then just the fact that he was buzzed for me, and then he was like, look, I've got a big car, and it just proper. Like you need people like that in your life, and not people that talk down to you and treat you like a piece of dirt, and it's all about moving and moving on and positivity and moving on to the next step. And obviously, if it wasn't for my friend who kind of like sort of like referred me to her social worker, like none of this would have happened. So like that is where massive sort of like gratitude and thank you has kind of come from. And it's just going to be really cool. It's just going to be absolutely fantastic. Everything is going to be so excited. So, but I've got people that are willing to help, people at work, people through, other parts of work that I go and meet and see, and it's just going to be hopefully really good. And then I've got my actual friends as well, who they'll always be there to lend a hand, which will be like a really cool thing as well. So that is the good news. That is the amazing news, if I don't say so myself. So, yeah, so the studio room, that was kind of where the music side of things fitted in. But the actual move itself, it was like a general thing that needed to happen anyway. So that the next step of my life kind of thing, to move on and just kind of like have my own space, and I just can't wait for it. It's gonna be a shed load of fun. The only thing I'm not looking forward to is packing all the vinyl records up again. If you remember the last time we moved, which wasn't that long ago, and I think even just after I moved, I even like said I hope I don't have to do this again for a long time. I literally have like just over 1,000 records, and packing them up and bringing them downstairs is definitely not the easiest thing to do. And then there's all the desks as well. Like there's this computer desk, there's the the desk that the vinyls sit in, and what the decks sit on top. So there's going to be all that, and they've got to go downstairs, and not only that, they've got to go upstairs at the new place. And the new place is there's way more stairs than there is here. Like here, you kind of just go up a few stairs, and then you like turn and you go up some more stairs. The new place, there is like 4 or 5 different levels of like floors before. I am literally the floor before the top floor, so I've got to take all of them records up all of them stairs. Like, it's gonna be a killer, but it will be worth it when they're up there, when they're in the studio room. It will be worth it. I hope. I'm sure it will be. But yeah, so I wanted to come on, share the good news. I'm going to be quite busy for the next duration of couple of days because I've got things to sort here. I've still got work. I'm going to the grandparents over the weekend, so that is something that is going to happen. Because I'm going to sort a few bits out there as well, and they've still got some of the cardboard boxes from when I came into here, so I'm going to get some of them back, and I think they're going to possibly have a little look at the flat on Monday, which will be all gravy, and yeah, we can just hopefully start getting the ball rolling and taking it sort of from there, and just sort of seeing where we go. But it's going to be a little bit of a busy time. Maybe won't be fully music focused for a couple of for a week or so. Apart from obviously the gigs, I'll still try and attend the gigs if I can. Obviously I'm hoping to still attend my gig next weekend, next Friday in Spennymoor, unless anything like major came up where I couldn't make it. Then I won't. I'd have to obviously pull out, but that is only like like a last sort of like resort thing. Once I'm moved and setting up kind of wise, like I'll just do that in my own time. Like I can just do little bits like and when I'm at home and stuff, and work and gigs and stuff, they're still important to me. So I can come home after work and I can unpack a couple of boxes. That is obviously no issue to me, and yeah, there we go. So big shout to everybody. Make sure to like, make sure to comment, share. I'm going to just finish this coffee. I burnt my hand on the cup earlier. I literally burnt my hand on the cup. Literally, it hurt as well. I burnt like the middle finger, like it caught the hot cup, and it wasn't good. It hurt. Like I was trying to carry it upstairs, but I was trying to carry something else as well, and then I was like, I'd like almost like spilt the coffee a little bit, and then I was trying like not to spill the coffee, and as I was trying not to spill the coffee, I like gripped the cup even more, and then it like burnt my finger. It was quite painful, but it's kind of all right now. But like when it just still sort of slightly feels like you can just tell that it's burnt, like it got burnt, and there is just like maybe just like the ever so slightest little burn mark that's come. Like just why did I have to do it? But it was my last little coffee as well, which is crazy. So yeah, so there we go. Yeah, big ups to everybody. Make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to share. Also as well, with the studio room, I thought I'd just add this before I do come off the stream. So obviously I will be kind of making some form of studio room, as I've said. Would anybody be interested in me kind of like doing kind of like a documentation of it. So I could do like almost like little update videos, and I can do like little videos of me kind of like, you know, putting the kind of like studio together, and we can kind of see from when it was the empty room to when it kind of like becomes the studio room. Do you know what I mean? Almost kind of like a vlog, but it'll just be kind of like almost like a few mini little clips where, I don't know, maybe today we're going to set up the DJ stand kind of thing. So this is where I'm thinking of putting it kind of thing, and then kind of just like doing little updates of like how the room's coming on. But we'll see. Like, it's not obviously you know, a definite. We'll just see what happens. Like, you know, if I get in the moment and I get unpacking stuff and I forget to record, then sadly I will. But just a little idea that, you know, we could maybe do some form of documentation. So we'll see how that goes. I might do a little something like just setting up the room kind of thing. But we'll see. So make sure to like, comment, share. We'll see you soon.